Subscribe to Feminism in India for your dose of intersectional feminist content and make sure to hit the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
Amazon original web series Tandav is now in the middle of a storm. The political thriller is accused of mocking Hindu gods and hurting Hindu sentiments.
The apex child rights body, NCPCR, has now asked Netflix to stop streaming Bombay Begums, the series, citing inappropriate portrayal of children in the web series.
Kissing scenes in a web series inspired by Vikram Seth's novel A Suitable Boy, which have been filmed at a famous temple, have triggered a huge controversy in Madhya Pradesh.
In India, we have a very long history of banning things we don't agree with. Censorship is deeply rooted within our country's history. Be it movies we don't like, paintings we find offensive, books that prick our religious beliefs, or even free speech. The sword has now come to hang in the heads of the OTT platforms.
So today we look at the censorship of OTT platforms and why it is undemocratic.
We live in an era of having entertainment on the go. We have a wide range of content just a click away. However, these platforms have been facing the anger of the Indian government.
The government is of the belief that the creative independence of these platforms needs to be brought under the purview, and they need to tell these platforms what they can and cannot stream.
Which basically means that your favorite movies and TV shows are under a major threat of censorship in India.
Let us first look at the history of censorship and OTT. Unlike TV channels, OTT platforms enjoy great creative freedom because of the lack of regulations over it. They do not have any regulatory body to control the content, but that might soon change.
These platforms, realizing the threat to their creative liberty, try to fix their own game by basically telling the government that, look, we're going to come up with a self-regulatory framework of our own and we'll fix this on our own. Which, long story short, means that they agreed to self-censorship for self-preservation.
In line with the self-regulatory framework, OTTs are basically being forced to censor their own content lest the authorities get angry. However, the rules of the games are not the same for everyone.
In a country of 1.3 billion people, the list of what is offensive can be a pretty long one. In most cases, what people find offensive are actually the things that make them super uncomfortable, whereas a lot of things that are actually problematic get a pass.
Let's look at an example. Amazon Prime's web series Tandav, which was a political drama, became the hotspot of controversy when it was slammed for provoking communal disharmony and hurting the Hindu sentiments. The makers were forced to apologize after they got a legal notice, and several BJP leaders called for a ban. However, another OTT release, Pati Patni Aur Panga, wasn't met with the same fate despite it being transphobic and putting across a problematic perspective on trans experiences.
Shows like Bombay Begums is sent a notice for showing what is actually the urban reality in India.
Whereas problematic narratives like Indian matchmaking that reinforce gender stereotypes get away scot-free.
So the question that arises is, what is offensive and who gets to decide on it? Are religious sentiments getting hurt more offensive than, say, denigrating the lived experiences of gender minorities? Is the gatekeeping of offense being done by a select few according to their own whims and fancies?
Traditional cinema and film laws are archaic and go way back to 1952 when the Parliament passed the Cinematographer Act. Hardly any changes have been made to it ever since.
These laws don't acknowledge the fact that things have changed massively over the years, and so has our understanding of content.
For example, say a kissing scene was unimaginable in cinema in the 1950s, but today it is nothing unusual.
So how can we rely on these laws to govern what we consume? Also, let's not forget that we've come a long way from watching TV together as a family time, a family pastime of sorts.
We now watch things on our own time and space. We are not living in a time where the logic of one content for all works.
People can choose what they want to watch. So if you don't like something, you just don't watch it. It's pretty simple. healthy democracy needs to have a healthy and broad speech level that gives space to creative ideas, discourses, and debate. But that reality is almost fading.
The curtailment of entertainment forms is not justified. The outcome of the self-regulation would mean silencing of progressive content, which means what we will be left with is boring and sanitized content, often borderline propaganda.
Censorship will basically mean a complete curbing of any creative expression that does not run well with a select few in power.
The fight remains to ensure that creative freedom extends into people's lives despite efforts being made otherwise.
Tell us your thoughts on how your experiences as viewers would be impacted or changed if the OTT platforms were to come under the government purview of censorship. And what do you think is an alternative? Tell us in the comments below.